We currently have the best deal of the year live now on poodlecfb.com. If you use code FLASH, capital F, you get $65 off the annual plan, or if you use code FLASH 2025, capital F, you get $6 off the monthly plan. You unlock exclusive spreadsheets, in-depth info, and our members-only Discord. Come join thousands of other members in the fastest growing and best CFB Dynasty community out there. Don't miss out. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 26 video, and in today's video, I'm going to go over what I believe to be the most important thing in Dynasty mode. And guys, we are doing something special on poodlecfb.com. The first few people to DM me over on Twitter the word Dynasty will get a special rate to sign up for poodlecfb.com. And regardless, guys, we are running our best discount of the year. If you use code FLASH, capital F, you do get $65 off the annual plan. If you use code FLASH 2025, you get $7 off the monthly plan. Make sure to sign up. It is a recurring discount, so you do get to keep it for the lifetime of your membership. We recently launched so many new tools. We have so many new things coming. We have our data lab, which gives you access to basically everything that you need to know and everything you didn't even know you need to know in Dynasty mode right on your phone, from your computer, from your tablet. You can just click on it and you can see all the best data studies and what everything means for you as a Dynasty user and basically dominate your Dynasty. If you're not in there yet, you're at a disadvantage in your league. Come join thousands of members just like yourself. Make sure to use those codes, but let's get into it. After a few weeks of playing this game and taking a look at certain things, one thing has become abundantly clear throughout everything. From manual progression to auto progression to recruiting to floor to ceiling to team prestige, one thing has remained true throughout basically every sim I've done, every league I played in, and that's been player progression is very, very important this year, but something specifically about it. So we've looked through a few things. We've tested coaching packages. We've tested how many stats you get in game. We've tested manual versus auto on progression penalties. We've tested different talent developer mix-ups with motivator. Do they stack coordinators? And one thing remains true. Yes, while coaching packages and all that are so important, what really just takes it to another level this year is development traits. So last year, development traits in a player, if you don't know what those are the traits that it determines the speed at which they grow. Because I want you guys to be able to see dev traits. So you will notice that this year, right, we have normal, impact, star, and elite, which was the same as last year, same as this year. But what's important here is last year was very different. So let me click into a player here real quick. Last year, development traits worked very differently. So in Madden, development traits basically determine how quickly you gained XP and how quickly you grew. In CFB, it wasn't exactly the case. What we found with development trait last year was mostly that it was indicative of their stat caps and they would gain XP a little bit quicker, but not to the level at which they do in this year's game. In this year's game, it is so important. A normal dev guy quite literally is just destroyed. Impact devs don't grow as well. You really need star or elite this year. And I'm gonna go through a few sims and tests with you on video for you to see this. But where it really gets crazy, and that's why I'm going to be doing an updated coaching build that may be out already, maybe not out already, where I'm going to be emphasizing for like 85% of the community of people who aren't going to be the CEO or elite recruiter guys, a way to just maximize this. Because I'm seeing so many teams hit 99 overall in my simulations when I set up the coaching builds with the right dev traits. Now, there are ways to maximize this. If you haven't already, go check out my other video where I do go over a glitchy recruiting method, which is a way to pretty much just emphasize elite and star dev guys in a very strategic way. But we're going to run through this. So I'm going to sim to the offseason, and we're going to go through a few different simulations for you guys to kind of see how things are impacted. Now, if you guys want to test this yourself, make sure you do come down to your progression penalty. And if you're doing it manual, make sure you put it on 0, because right now it is actually kind of broken. And if it's anything above 0%, it basically treats it almost like a 90% deduction. So make sure you do turn that off, and make sure auto progress players are off. So we're going to sim to the offseason, and I'm going to go through each and everything with the dev traits. You can just see how different of a prospect you're looking at based on dev traits, which means you also want to recruit for dev traits. So the way you're going to do that is you got to be looking at it as this way: either green gems, or you want to utilize strategists, which again I made a whole video on, so make sure to check that out. So let's compare some upgrades here. Let's compare some upgrades on how your player ends up looking after a star dev freshman season compared to like these seniors. Now, what I really want to emphasize too is how glitchy this gets with certain coaching packages. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go through the coaching packages and give you guys a sneak peek of how my new ideal coach build for most people who want to go the talent developing route will look. But what 74 points could do for you with a young guy is absolutely absurd. So let's just go in here and let's upgrade his accuracy. Now remember, this guy is rather capped to begin with, being that he is a pretty trashy quarterback. There is a way around this. If you just go ahead and you position flip a little bit, you will lose the abilities, but you do get that accuracy up a lot. Let's get all of his basic stuff up. and we will see what his overall ends up becoming, because those extra points just go such a long way, especially on a young guy. 74 points on a guy who has cheap things to upgrade is just incredibly glitchy. Now we can go up and get his throw power up if we want, but for the sake of getting as much as we can on here, especially if you're in an auto upgrade league, it would essentially upgrade this stuff right here. As much as I want to get throw power up, it's not really going to help his overall much, as you guys can see there. So like I said, he's a pretty capped quarterback, but we got him basically to all his caps in his freshman year, up to an 88 overall, because he was star dev. While a guy who gets like 35 as an impact, that's a lot less, because especially if you want to do speed upgrades, when you're looking at like a speed upgrade, let's say, and this will probably be better suited with a halfback, when you're looking at a speed upgrade, these are 12 points. So let's say I was trying to get my quarterback up, I can only get these 3 right here, which only gets him to an 82. Well, one more, 13, we're going to be short on that one. But if you had a guy who had a big speed cap, a big uncapped speed, or a big uncapped throw power, these are very expensive things. So essentially, if you want to get all of the big ticket attribute items up, like throw power, speed, and things like that, and abilities, you're going to need that higher dev ceiling, which actually makes a lot of sense. So last year, you didn't have that luxury. It was kind of like you took it as you got it, whatever happened, happened. Elite dev guys having no abilities, or elite dev guys never upgrading their speed. Now, at your own control and how this works, if you can get them speed star or elite dev with the super fast development growth from it, you can now go ahead and get all the great stuff, which I think has actually been a great quality of life change here. Let's go to any of these halfbacks here. Like 79 points is absolutely ridiculous, especially without us having the ideal coach for all this stuff, which is crazy. We didn't even play with the guy. We can go here and max whatever we basically want out. We can do elusiveness all the way up. And this is one offseason. This is why you're seeing a lot of 99 overall teams now, because of what they did to allow you to actually go this deep on players with skill points. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's go through. In one offseason, our freshman, and he still has some room here, our freshman running back is about to be absolutely elite. So he's a 92 overall. We could have upgraded abilities too. He's a 92 overall freshman in one offseason. You guys get the point. You get the point here. Star dev guys now, normal are in a completely different category, where you'll see like, say, normal only got 19. Star got 61. You can see the huge discrepancy right there. Impact got 33. Star got 61. Now elite would have got probably 100. 90 to 100. Now let's go through some of the coaching packages that really take this to the next level and how you want to stack them. So for me personally, what I'm going to go through my coach build video when you guys see it, if you haven't seen it already. Originally, what I like, if you're like a top 10% player in your league, like you're in that top percentile of people, CEO and Elite Recruiter is amazing. It's great. But if you can't unlock Elite Recruiter or CEO, or your league only goes 5 to 6 seasons, and by the time you unlock Elite Recruiter, it's not useful. This is like the alternate build that allows you to just get 99 overall players. You don't have to worry about the stress of recruiting and beating people out of that stuff. All you got to do is worry about bringing in good dev traits. So if you're going to take that alternate route, some of my favorite ones right here are going to be tier 1 through 3. Tier 4 is great too, but that's more of a recruiting based one. Tier 1 through 3. This helps you get all of your bonus stuff for XP. This is amazing. You get bonus XP when players are drafted, which really helps because you're going to be having a dev build. You're going to be getting a lot of players drafted with high overalls. Freshman, sophomore quarterbacks progress faster. That allows you to get that freshman up to a 90 in the first season. And then Star Maker, play with the quarterback, utilize him, get a lot of stats. You're going to get more stuff. It's essentially like Architect, but more organic. Where Architect, you kind of have to win games and play games. I still do like Architect. I just think that unlocking it with Tactician can be a little bit annoying. And then, of course, Motivator. Motivator is going to play a huge role here too. Make sure you have your tier 3 so you get that extra off-season training boost. A lot of people have been saying that stuff doesn't work. It does work. The thing is, you have to be coordinating it and compiling it with a coordinator that has Motivator. So if you have a coordinator or Motivator, you only keep exponentially growing all of these boosts. So make sure you do have all of that. But from what I've gathered and what I've tested, if you just have Star and Elite Dev, like you'll see the difference right here with the team. So you could have brought in a 5-star player who is an elite player, and he has a bad dev trait like impact, right? Or like normal. Let's say this is a 5-star. Let's say this was a 5-star recruit, but he came in with a normal dev. So fine, you out recruited people, you brought in your 5-star, but he had a normal dev or an impact dev. You have 19 points to spend. Okay, let's spend it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Congrats, our whole season's done. We got him up to a 79 overall. This is kind of what last year was like at times, where your 5-star barely went up at times. So that's fine. We got to wait till like his junior year to get him up. Obviously, this is a senior, but you guys get the point. The point is that when you're a normal dev and you're getting 27 points and you're in the 70 overalls, you're not going to get much from it. Now you bring in a 4-star star dev and you have him at 77 overall, you can now get him up much, much higher. And I hope the point's pretty clear to you guys that just the extra points you get for them being star and elite is just so astronomically insane, combined with the fact that if you get the right packages, you can absolutely take a player from 0 to hero in 1 year. Like in 1 season, you get a player who wouldn't have been touching the field to a player who's your absolute de facto #1 starter, which is just absolutely crazy to me in a game where you had to basically wait your turn every single time last year and just wait until they were ready to hit the field. Like that guy's an 86 overall. He is now an 86 overall as a sophomore. He's a startable tight end. Get him on the field. He's usable. And this is as a sophomore. If that was a freshman, it would have been the same exact impact, except he would have been going into sophomore year as a redshirt, or he would have been a freshman redshirt. Absolutely insane. And where this goes even further with elite and star dev is the fact that you can redshirt. That's where it really goes to the next level. So look at this. When redshirting players, this ability right here, tier 2, freshman and sophomore quarterbacks progress faster. If you redshirt a player, you can hold them as a freshman, sophomore, basically 3 years under that sophomore grouping, which means you get 3 years of that. So if you could just get elite and star dev players, and guys, I think this may be the best thing to do in the game going forward. In a game that I think they really need to nerf player progression just a little bit. I think it's a little too insane. College football is not about freshmen really starting. It's about like waiting your turn, junior year, you take that big jump. That's kind of how last year was. It's a tad too insane right now. Now, I've done this with custom coaches too. Trust me, it's not that hard to get some of the stuff. CEO is the hardest thing, followed by elite recruiter. Those are the 2 hardest things to get in the game. Everything else very much comes with time and comes very, very quickly. Not overly concerned about getting anything else in the game besides really those 2. But guys, if you can, if you're not a guy who gets CEO or you get elite recruiter, what I recommend is getting talent developer, getting strategist. I'm going to be reworking a coach build that maybe reworks in motivator, talent developer, and strategist as the 3. And the reason for strategist is because you can actually use mind reader to see some dev traits, as well as you can hold on to some players on your roster and have better retention rates, which will go a long way for a program that's not out recruiting people. I think that'll be really great. But hopefully this video helped you out. If you guys didn't have that much insight on dev traits, this should have helped you guys out a lot. So dev traits are king. I think they're the best thing in this game. I'm starting to lean in a way where I think they actually outdo recruiting. And as of this video, as of this weekend, I think developing is better than recruiting from the sims I've done, the sims we've done over on poodlecfb.com. We have a data lab where we tested like hundreds of different sims, and each and every time the teams with the talent developer style teams that just built up high devs ended up at the same spot, if not way better than teams that were just recruiting 5 stars and being an elite recruiter. So that's where I stand, guys. I'm going to be making an update to my coach build, especially with most of you not unlocking elite recruiter yet anyways. Now with the regular build, you can still do recruiter tier 1 for the scouting. That's still very useful. That's what I had recommended. So this shouldn't change too much for you. But guys, that's about it. If you haven't already, if you want to sign up for the greatest and fastest growing CFB community out there, check out poodlecfb.com. As you guys know, the first few people to DM me over on Twitter, that right Dynasty, you will get a special code. But if not, code Flash and code Flash 2025 are still really great. So code Flash, capital F, get you $65 off the annual plan. Code Flash 2025, get you $7 off the monthly plan. Make sure to check it out. Come join thousands of members just like yourself. The best community out there, access to Data Lab, and all our new tools. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.